Hello, all you scaredy cats and kittens, and welcome to the Two Scaredy Cats podcast, where we talk about all things strange, unusual, and paranormal. We're your hostess with the mostess. I'm Stacy.
And I'm Kara.
So, Kara, what have you been up to since we've talked last?
Well, I had another convention this past weekend in Washington, D.C., so...
Oh, boy, you just all over, aren't you?
Well, this one was, like, my biggest one. The one that's, like, really insane. Like, everyone comes from all over the world to book photo shoots and stuff at this location, so...
Oh, neat.
It was a very intense... As you can tell, I'm very tired. I've been up... So you guys should go check out my YouTube video if you're curious about it. It's up on my YouTube, Kara Mel Photography, and it's the KatsuCon 2026 video. A lot of really cool costumes if you're into that. Kind of gives you a little taste of the convention and everything, so.
Yeah, you should check it out. Very cool.
Yeah. And if you were there and you're a listener, we appreciate you. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to listen to our podcast.
Yeah, and thanks to everybody else that's listening, too. We appreciate you.
Yeah, because I know a few of our listeners were also there because they talked to me about it.
Oh, cool.
So.
Nice.
I appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had an interesting flight in. I think I told you in the group chat about it a little bit.
Yeah, you told me a little bit, but what happened?
So, I don't know because I had my headphones on, and I, kind of was just la-di-da-di-da, I'm ready to get there. So I wasn't really paying attention, but, we were, how when you're, driving around on the tarmac, and I thought, oh, okay. And then we randomly just, drove around and we parked, and we literally sat there for 30 minutes. I was like, what the heck is going on? Maybe I thought maybe, because sometimes they do that if they're, they're behind on schedule for flights.
You gotta wait because there's too many people in front of you or whatever. Yeah, that's happened to us before.
So I thought maybe that was it, but then it was I finally took off my headphones and hey, sorry, we're gonna have to sit here another 15 minutes. I was like, what? And then I'll turn the plane back on and I'm gonna drive us back to the gate. And I was like, what?
Ooh.
I was like, what is going on? So I thought maybe there was something wrong. And then, so we drive back, and, we're just sitting here, and everyone's like, hey, everyone please stay in your seats. Do not, remove your seatbelts. And so I'm sitting there looking around, trying to see what's going on. There's a lady, I guess, screaming in the back of the plane, because allegedly, because I only heard this through other people, because I had my headphones on, because I have noise canceling, so I don't have to, hear... kids crying or whatever.
That makes sense, yeah.
So there's a security person who gets on the plane and literally ends up going to the back of the plane, because I think this all happened in the back of the airplane. So I was pretty close to the front, so I didn't really hear or see anything that was going on. And I guess they had to escort a lady off the plane because she refused to leave the bathroom.
What was she doing in the bathroom? Does anybody know?
I don't know. But she did refuse to go. She did not want to leave. And they kept asking her, and she started screaming at people about how she wasn't leaving the bathroom.
What? That is insane.
I know. And it was really wild, because I saw her, she looked like Elle Woods. She had this giant, poofy pink coat. She was, blonde. She had, a high ponytail. You see what I'm saying? She looked kind of like a bimbo-y, the vibe?
Do you think maybe she was, a hooker and was in there, doing something with somebody?
What? No, I do not think that. I thought she was doing drugs or something, maybe. I don't know.
Well, maybe
that's
they were
my
trying
guess.
to join the
but
Mile
why
High
would you
Club.
Do
I don't know.
How did you even get them in, first of all?
Right, I know. That's crazy.
But, how are they going to join the... Hold up, because how are they going to join the Mile High Club when we were still on the tarmac?
I don't know. Maybe they were doing it in the bathroom for clout. Who knows?
For clout?
I don't know.
What? But anyway, so we finally freaking leave. We landed an hour later than we should have. And they were like, I'm sorry guys, we can't, it's just out of our control.
They must have booked it though, if they helped you get there that fast. Because sometimes when they're running late, they will use more gas to get there faster to make up for lost time.
I finally landed, and then it was really funny because I met another person who was going to the con. While... we walked out, and, because they liked my look or whatever, and they're like, oh gosh, I like your hair and stuff, and your thing, and we were talking. And they were telling me about, like, what was going on. Because they saw more, like, of what was going down as opposed to me, since I was like, la 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 la. I just want to get to the convention so I can... Because I'm, like, stressed out because it's, like, my biggest con. So it's always an intense one. But that was kind of insane. It's extra funny because that person... Because, like, we exchanged, like, info and we were talking a bit. They were on my flight home, too. If that's crazy. And they live pretty close, funny. So we're going to hang out and stuff.
I was going to say, they must live in Columbus.
They're flying out of. But now I have a new buddy, and we're going to watch to hang out with. Yeah. And it's really funny because they're also interested in doing, like, CMV stuff and, like, photo shoots, so.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Cool.
It was pretty neat and interesting. It's a really, I know, it was funny. I feel like we trauma bonded on the first flight. So.
It sounds like it with some.
It was just crazy. We had almost the exact same flight home, like Wednesday, because they flew Wednesday to Monday. But yeah, that was my day there. Luckily, the flight home was was like normal, because I was like, I don't think I could do that twice.
Yeah,
because it sucked because I got to the hotel like my flight was already like a late night flight. You know.
Wait a minute. So, question: how was the flight home without there being any TSA?
What do you mean?
You know, TSA got shut down, right? Because there was money for
there was
the
still
government
TSA.
They shut them down.
Yeah.
Was there really? Because they were talking about how I guess they must have.
It was normal. It was
completely.
Okay. It felt like a completely normal experience to the airport.
Okay, I was curious because they were making it sound like they might have to shut down, not like the airports, but you know, you wouldn't have to go through TSA or whatever.
That sounds like a security risk.
Interesting. Hey, I know that, and you know.
But anyways, yeah. It was just a very intense weekend. Oh my gosh! So Sunday, this is insane. I was walking down the stairs to go to one of because I only had 2 shoots that day, so I was like, I'll just take the stairs because it's around checkout time, and you know people are fighting for elevators. Yeah, especially going down. So I walked down the stairs, and on one of the floors there was a pile of poop. In the stairwell!
Ew,
in the stairwell!
Like in the hall? Oh, that's disgusting.
I know, and it's so crazy. I took a photo of it, and then our other roommate, I guess, walked by the same pile of poop, and they took a photo because they didn't think anyone would believe them. But it was funny, we both took a photo of the same pile of poop.
Oh my god. That is disgusting.
Or what the heck?
But yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, and someone threw up near me at one point, and I watched multiple. So, like, it's a very party con. That's why a lot of people go at night, like the gazebo area. If I've ever told you about how there's like a gazebo everyone's obsessed with, I got to film quite a few things in the gazebo. So if you're curious what it looks like, we were hanging out, and like at night after my shoots were finally done, I was finally like, okay, I'm done filming. I'm putting the camera away. I'm just gonna go yap to people. You know what I mean? And then we're standing, chatting, and all of a sudden, there's just, like, a pile of puke appears, like, on the floor near us. And then we stood there, and we were like, And we watched, because it's such, like, throw up was in, like, a high traffic area. Multiple people walked through it. And then you would watch them, like, be like, ugh! So it started getting everywhere. And me and the friend were just, like, staring in horror, because we're like, what the hell do we do? But there's, like, hundreds of people. Well, like... I don't know. Dude, we've been drinking, partying too, so we were like surprised Pikachu face. Like, what the heck? So then I was getting secondhand embarrassment watching, like, people, like, step in it, so I was like, we need to get away from the spot. Like, they should have had security or something. Eventually they did, but it was wild.
That is crazy.
Those are the curse. Oh my gosh. I forgot about this really insane thing that happened to us on Sunday. So some guy comes up to us and like our little cosplay group, he's like, oh wow, I love you guys. It's like One Piece cosplays, whatever. And we're like, okay. And he was like, I really want to take a photo with you guys. And we're like, okay. So he takes a photo with us, and then like while we're about to take the photo, he's like, okay, now everyone say Gooner. And we were all like, wow. I literally busted out laughing. I was like, what? Whoa. Do you know what that means?
Yeah.
Okay, just making double checking. That was just something he tried to say to us. Or like we all said it because we were like, this is actually insane, and I can't stop laughing because it didn't feel like a real like scenario that happened.
That's crazy. Don't you just love people? Aren't they awesome?
Yeah. Other than that, I had a mostly normal weekend. I mean, like,
that's good. Well,
there's crazy busy, but
can be, right?
Yeah. But there's always just like wild stuff. It's Katsucon. A lot of crazy things happen. Well, that was my weekend.
That's the interesting weekend. To put it lightly. Wow. Oof, okay. So, this week I have our story this week. This one's crazy. So if you're a tinfoil hat wearer, you might want to get that out.
Oh boy.
Yeah. We are going to be talking about Elizabeth Klarer and her alien lover. So our friend Elizabeth was born in July 1st, 1910 and died February 9th, 1994. She was from a South African woman who had an alien lover and had a love child with him. She claimed, anyway, and this is what she claimed, starting in 1956, she was contacted by aliens multiple times between 1954 and 1963. Her first visitation occurred when she was just 7, and she was one of the first women to claim a sexual relationship with an extraterrestrial.
Oh.
She promoted... Yeah, I know. This is crazy, people. She promoted an ideal of a better world and beliefs in cosmic consciousness, and promoted conspiracy theories of an international cover-up that kept vital information from the public, and claimed to have been threatened with abduction to press her into revealing details about alien technology. So basically, the government thought that because she had been having relations with these extraterrestrials, that she had knowledge of what, alien technology and stuff like that. She was actually a very prominent person, and she wasn't like crazy or loony. I mean, she was like very well known for what her field of study was and all that, and she was very loved by lots of people adored her and stuff, and nobody thought, when she started telling all this, nobody thought she was crazy. They all believed her. So let's start talking about how all this began. So at the age of 7, Elizabeth and her older sister Barbara claimed that she had her first UFO encounter while they were feeding their puppies outside of their farmhouse. Elizabeth and her sister saw a silver disc bathed in a pearly luster swoop over them. At this time, a giant orange-red circle planet-looking object was seen orbiting and rotating high in the sky. The silver disc met with it and emerged with it, and it left a smoke trail above them.
Oh.
A few months later, her and her farm manager had another sighting. So basically, they lived on a farm in Africa, okay, and they had like sheep and stuff there, and they had dogs and stuff that they raised and stuff too. And she was out there with her farm manager, and they saw this flying disc thing again. So Clara graduated from St. Anne's Diocesan College, and then completed a 4-year diploma in meteorology from Girton College, and she was taught by her first husband to fly a tiger moth. Oh. Now, a tiger moth is like a type of light aircraft. And during one of her flights, this was in 1937, in a flight from Durban to I'm going to probably pronounce this wrong, Bargawanth, in a leopard moth aircraft, Klarer and her husband reportedly saw a flying saucer approach them. And then it coasted along with them. Like, basically, it flew in tandem next to them at the same rate of speed that they were going. And during World War II, she actually had a position in the RAF with intelligence.
Oh.
So, like I said, she's very well educated, and she was basically a meteorologist, and very interested in the skies and what was going on there, and our weather patterns and all that kind of stuff. So, and she knows how to fly, and so she knows all this stuff. So Kleiner believed in telepathic powers and was trying to enhance these abilities since she was little. And in 1954, her sister, who was residing on a farm in Waitalafi in the Natal Midlands, relayed to her that the Zulu people who were living there had been reporting appearances of the lightning bird in the sky. Now, this was their way of acknowledging the UFO, that there was a UFO that they kept seeing and stuff. And that was their nickname for that. So Elizabeth and her children traveled to the farm, once she heard about this, and they went up to what they call Flying Saucer Hill. And it was a special hill on this farm that her sister had lived on. And I guess it was partially belonged to the Zulu people. And the reason why they nicknamed it Flying Saucer Hill was because where they saw these lightning birds in the sky, the Zulu people. So they nicknamed it that, and people would go there and just watch all these, flying saucers and strange lights in the sky. So she brings her kids there, and this is where she claimed to have seen Akon's starship. Now, Akon is the name of her extraterrestrial lover, or her alien lover. And she talked about how, and this was the first time that she met him, and she talks about how the spaceship descended and it hovered like 3 meters above the ground where they were. And it made this soft humming noise in the hull of it, and it kept spinning through the central, like there was like a spinning, it was almost like a top, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And in the center of it, she could see like it's spinning around, if that makes sense. Kind of like a revolving door, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she could see a spaceman in the window in there.
Ooh.
And yeah, and the spaceman later ended up identifying himself as Akon. And she said he was very clearly visible through one of the 3 portholes in the center of the ship that kept like spinning around like a revolving door. But there was like a barrier of heat that kept her from approaching, I guess, because the ship was so hot, it was putting off all this heat. So, then the ship ended up disappearing. So that was, her first time meeting Akon, who later would become her alien lover. Oh. So on April 7th, yeah, I know, this is so crazy. So on April 7th in 1956, she decided to visit the hilltop again that is known as Flying Saucer Hill, after there had been reports of more sightings going on. So, and this time, Akon came and took her aboard his ship. Now, his ship, he claims, was a scout ship for his people. And this ship was 60 feet in diameter. I guess the other one was a little bit smaller that she had seen him on the last time he was there. Inside of the ship, she met his second pilot, and she was shown this special lens that they had in there that offered views, this is so crazy, through the floor of the spaceship. It would also have this humming noise that would come from below. She had this feeling that she felt like there was no movement going on, even though they were moving. And they ended up getting transported from this scouting ship to the mothership, which had this garden-like interior inside of it. I guess they were like collecting plants and stuff from Earth and other planets. This sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie. I mean, this is
it sounds nuts. A little wild.
I know. So after meeting the others from his that were on his ship, like his second in command and all that, she was returned to the hilltop. Now, during this encounter, they just, kissed each other. Kissed each other, and Akon revealed that she was a reincarnated Venusian, and she was his long lost soulmate.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, I know. Because Akon revealed to her that his people are the Venusians, okay? And they apparently they sent out some of their people at one point in time to different planets and all that, and all around Earth, and she was one of the people that they sent to Earth, okay? So he further explained that occasionally they would take Earth women as partners, and as the offspring help strengthen their race with an infusion of new blood. He also claimed that a number of Venusians were living on Earth among us humans. Okay, so this is so crazy. So then, on July 17th, 1956, after her family farm had been sold, Klarer decided to revisit the area and claimed to take 7 photos of Akon's scout ship using her sister's brownie box camera. Now, I actually have a brownie box camera downstairs.
Really?
This was like yeah, I'll have to take a photo of it.
Huh.
I'll show everybody. It's a square camera, and it takes photos. When it takes photos, they're taken like on a they're like rectangle photos when they come out. But this is like one of the first cameras invented by Kodak. So anyway, she was taking all these photos of his ship, and that was in 1956. And then in 1958, Klarer story is set apart from the other UFO stories that were standard during this time. Remember in the 1950s, we had the Benny and what was the lady's name, their abduction, and we talked about that. Well, Klarer claimed that Akon's visit this time accumulated a modern day rendezvous with her. So basically they, had sex. And he
The way that you said it, though, is just really funny.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they, I guess she was trying to, I don't know, make it not sound as what it was. Anyway, and at that time, he presented her with a silver ring that was able to enhance their telepathic connection so that they could communicate to one another. And their love was consummated, and a child was conceived.
Huh.
So, and this is a direct quote from her. She says, "I surrendered in ecstasy to the magic of his lovemaking, our bodies merging in magnetic union as the divine essence of our spirits became one." This was from her book, by the way. She wrote a book about all this. So, Klarer claimed that after a terrestrial pregnancy, she and her car were transported in 1959 to Akon's home planet of Menton. There, she delivered a son who was given the name Ailing, and he stayed behind on Mentor to be educated while Elizabeth was sent home. Now, this is kind of crazy to me. I can't believe she just let her baby live there on this planet. Apparently, the reason why they ended up sending her home was because Menton's planetary vibrations supposedly affected her heart, and they were worried that she would die there, so she was not permitted to come back. So instead of instead of being able to go back there and visit her child, Akon would bring her son with him, Ailing, and they would visit her. And apparently the whole trip for her to deliver the baby and to return back to Earth took no more than 4 months. But due to the space-time continuum and differences, She was actually on Menton for 9 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but this is what I don't understand, and they didn't go into too much detail about this. She's gone for 4 months, okay? Nobody's looking for a pregnant woman that's been missing for 4 months. Like, right?
Yeah,
Doesn't that seem wild to you?
There seems like a lot wrong with this.
Right? I know. She described Menton, the place where he had taken her, that was his homeland, as having no tall buildings or cities. The homes were scattered in park-like grounds, and the civilization had all things needed like food, water, energy, and they did not use any type of money system like we have here on Earth. Now, Klarer, as I just pointed out before, published a book about this whole experience. And the name of the book was Beyond the Light Barrier. And that was published in 1980. There's also a show on Amazon about this whole thing, which you really should check out. It's kind of crazy. That talks about her, the whole experience, what happened. It goes over, like, her childhood and, how, like, she's a very smart and intelligent woman, and that's why people believed her when she talked about all this. She's not like, some crazy, how sometimes some people are very questionable about, how they are in the head. She, like, people legit believed her and what she said. So Elizabeth would faithfully commemorated her April 2nd anniversary. That was the first time that she met Akon, of their union with him every year by returning back to Flying Saucer Hill. Now, I don't know if that's so that he can bring their son for her to visit or what, but every year on April 2nd, she goes there. She died at the age of 84 in 1994 of breast cancer. And she actually was working on a second book at the time that never got published. The name of the second book was called The Gravity File. And the book was supposedly supposed to fill in all the gaps that were left by the first book. Which, I'm surprised nobody has been able to, go back and... it hasn't been published yet. On her deathbed, she told friends and family that Ailing, her alien son, was now an astrophysicist like her lover, Akon. Mm-hmm. And he was crisscrossing the universe with his dad, which would have been, Akon, his space woman Clea, and their son. So I guess she has a grandson by him, which was pretty crazy. And all of her kids, like, they actually believe her too. Mm-hmm. Like, in the video that the show on Amazon that I watched about this, it's like a documentary. So if you're really interested, I highly recommend you check it out. But anyway, when they were talking about it in this documentary and stuff, they showed the one son of hers, and he was like, yeah, he goes, I've always wanted to meet my, half brother, half alien brother, and stuff like that. Now, here's the strange part. I don't think the kids ever met their alien stepfather and half brother alien.
What a phrase. This sounds crazy.
I know. I mean, I came across this story and I was like, what? And I was like, there's no way this is real. And I started looking it up, and it is real. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, as real as she thought it was anyway. But there's all kinds of stuff that back it up. I mean, she actually has photos of this stuff. Like, I'll have to look them up and show you guys them. But they showed photos that she took on this camera of them. There is actually one photo, too, that I saw that is a supposed picture of her man, the alien dude. So, it's interesting. And she actually drew a picture of him, too, from, like, her memory. So, anyway, that's what I have for you guys today. I told you it was crazy.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I don't know what to think about it, but I mean, like I said, this woman though, I mean, she's really smart and very accomplished. So you know what I mean? Like it's not like she's, crazy or anything.
Maybe she's
so
a brain tumor.
Maybe there's some truth to it. No, because she lived to 84. Remember, she had breast cancer, not a brain tumor.
I guess that's true. I don't know. Maybe in your old age, you get a little silly.
I don't know.
I mean, we know some relatives like that.
Yeah, but here's the kicker, though. Remember, she wasn't the only one that saw these spaceships. Remember, the Zulu people were seeing them all, and it's like
I mean,
all
that might
over.
be real, but probably
Right.
the baby part's a little far-fetched.
Hey, I believe that. I know. I find that part really bizarre. And the whole thing where she was gone for 4 months. I mean, is that like? Does somebody have that like somewhere? Is there proof of that somewhere that she was gone for 4 months? And weren't people worried about her? Like, you know what I mean? Weren't her family like freaking out because their mom, who's and aren't they wondering how she got pregnant? I mean, you know what I mean? It's just a lot of questionable questions
sounds like
there.
She was neglected.
I guess. I don't know.
I mean, why else would you not tell someone that, or why would they not care?
Right? It's so
There's
bizarre.
something going on.
Right? Or maybe she never showed him when they took, you know what I mean? Like she wasn't showing yet when they took her.
Because she seems like she's telling everyone about her alien baby, so...
Right. But here's my point. Like, remember they said based on the time continuum, it was 4 months, 4 months there in, or here on Earth was 9 years in their world. So she basically got to see her kid, grow up till he was like 9, and then she got booted off the planet because her heart couldn't handle whatever was going on there.
Right.
Because her heart might explode or whatever they were saying. But yeah, I mean, you got to watch, really have to watch the documentary. It's pretty crazy. Now I just want to read the book to see what she said in the book.
I know.
I'm going to have to go find that.
You're going to have to get the book.
Yeah, that's just too, I don't know. I mean, I believe there's aliens out there. I don't know that people are, having relations with them. But who knows? I mean, the Epstein files are talking about how there's reptile people aliens running around on Earth. So who knows? Who knows what's going on? But anyway, that's all I have this week.
Well, that was a lot.
That was a lot. I know. Try unpacking that, people.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's like a cliffhanger. Oof. Okay. Anyway, sorry.
So if you enjoyed the podcast today, please be sure to follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Two Scaredy Cats Podcast, and don't forget to leave a review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It really helps the show get discovered. And tune in 2 weeks for our next episode. And to you, all our scaredy cats and kittens out there, curiosity didn't kill these two scaredy cats.